Hey guys, JR Cook here, and today we're going to be talking about focus. And the reason I'm making this video is because I think that focus is arguably the most important resource that we have. And the reason for that is because what we apply our focus towards is what we tend to get into our life. So if we focus on making more money, we're going to likely make more money. If we're focused on having a great relationship, we're likely going to have a great relationship. If we focus on improving our body, improving our mind, improving our connection to the divine, whatever it is that we focus on, we tend to manifest into our life. Okay, so we have to focus in class if we're going to get smarter. We have to focus on ourselves if we're going to improve ourselves. We have to focus on our business, learn about it if we're going to improve our business. And so today we're going to focus on three parts of discipline that I think are critical. And the first one is health. Okay, so why does health help us focus more? Well, if you imagine a camera's job is to focus, right? Like if I were out of focus right now, yeah, you wouldn't be able to see me very clearly. You'd probably click away from this video because I just look horrible, right? But we don't want a camera that cannot focus, all right? And only a well-functioning camera is able to to focus properly. And the same is true with our mind and our body. If we want to be able to focus, which is it's a neurologic process. I mean, we have to have a functioning brain in order to focus. And if our brain is cloudy because, we're on drugs or we're just overly obese, we're not in shape enough, our brain isn't getting enough circulation, isn't getting enough oxygen, blood flow going through there, we're not going to be able to focus as well as somebody who is just at the top of their game. They got up in the morning at 5 a.m. and they worked out, versus someone who didn't. It's probably going to be the person that woke up, assuming everything else is even between them. So focus on health. Health is essential, and I found that health was something that I always wanted to kind of glaze past in my life. I thought that the most important thing in success was drive. I thought like as long as I work hard and I keep working hard, I'm gonna be successful. And what I ended up finding was that drive is not the key factor of success. Effectiveness is, because what I found was I just kept working. I work harder and harder and harder and harder, and I'd work for days and weeks and months and even years. And the results that I was getting were not even close to the amount of work that I was putting in. I'm just thinking, wait, what is wrong here? All right. And then I started looking like, I was like, well, I must be ineffective at something here. And after all the pursuits and all of the learnings that I've done since then, the greatest factor that I found was one, improving my health. And how do you improve your health? Well, that's the second part of this puzzle that I'm going to mention today. And it's through habits. Habits. Through disciplined habits, basically. Waking up early, exercising, training our mind, journaling every single day. Like disciplining these habits into our life gives us a level of self control, a level of self trust, so that we can trust ourselves to follow through. And if we can trust ourselves to follow through, then we're not as stressed anymore. We don't have the anxiety anymore. And as we follow through, we have fewer things to stress about and fewer things to feel anxious about anyway. Because if we're focusing on our money situation and we have more money coming in, then there's a lot less to stress about. And so a lot of that anxiety and fear and pain and all of those things that kind of wear us down mentally just vanish. All right. And so habits and health are kind of together. But I wanted to mention them individually because I think that they should they should work holistically in that way. Okay. And so what are a few habits to help improve your discipline? Wake up early. Wake up early. Start to move. Wake up early and start to move. I have a supplement that you might want to start looking into. It's called Lion's Mane Mushroom. It's pretty great. It's a nootropic, but it's natural and it doesn't degrade in effects over time, and it doesn't over strain your mind. So it's a very sustainable option, and lab studies have shown in at least animals it actually regenerates brain cells, which for many of us who might have partied a little harder when we're younger, for me, I was hanging out in bonfires in the middle of fields, in the middle of nowhere, USA, and yeah, I probably lost some brain cells, as a teenager there. So I need all the help I can get, and many of us do too. And plus, like, not only does it regenerate brain cells, but it also has a nootropic effect. So it stimulates your cognitive functioning, which of course helps you to focus. Okay, one more habit I'll give you is meditation. Now, I know everybody's always talking about meditation, how to meditate, how do I actually focus with meditation? It's like, well, here's the deal. Okay, so meditation, it helps train our mind to focus. Okay, and so we can do several different types of meditation. I'll give you two easy ones. The first easy one that like everybody usually starts off with is just listening to your breath. Okay, so you just close your eyes, you listen to your breath, you focus only on your breath, inhale, and then you exhale, listening only to your breath for a little bit longer. Okay, and you always make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale, and you can just listen to your breath slowly for 4 or 5 breaths, and then you're done. Okay, so if you do that in the morning time, it's going to give you some good momentum with your focus, and it's going to train your focus so that you're able to carry that momentum with you throughout the day, and you'll notice that your focus is just improved significantly by just doing that little practice. And then there's one more meditation, and this is the one that I do personally. It's like a combination of like a box breathing exercise, but also an affirmation. So I'm always focusing on a certain aspect of my life, all right? So I turn it into like I'm grateful for something. It's like a 4 count, all right? So here's how it works. Basically, I breathe into the count of 4, and I listen to my breath. 2, 3, 4. I hold my breath to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I exhale to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I keep my breath exhaled to the count of 4. So it's exhaled 1, 2, 3, 4. But as I do that, say I'm grateful for my drive. I'm grateful for my drive. I guess that's like a 3 one. I'm just coming up with this on the top of my head. But if I'm focusing on my drive, or if I'm focusing on my decisions, I'm grateful for great decisions. So I breathe in and I just think, I'm grateful for great decisions. And then I'd exhale thinking, I'm grateful for great decisions. And then I'd hold it for that, and then I'd exhale and do it. And I'd do it a box 4 or 5 times with my focus on that affirmation, and the amount of power that generates in whatever affirmation I tend to do, I find is far more beneficial and powerful, at least for me in my life, than just listening to my breath. Okay, so that's something you might want to try. My gift to you. By the way, if you're liking this video, I'd appreciate if you'd hit like, leave me a comment. I appreciate all the comments, and I respond and go through them, and I'd like to get to know you better. If you have any ideas for any videos for me, I'd like it if you leave them down there. And anyway, let's carry on here. So the next thing I want to talk about is clarity. So what do I mean by clarity? Well, by clarity, I mean to be clear on our goals, to be clear on what we want to take, where we want to take our life. That way, we're clear on what we want to do that day. So where am I going with my life tells me what to focus on. Because without direction, without clarity, it's kind of hard to know what I should be focusing on. Because if I don't have a mission that I'm on, if I'm just kind of walking around randomly, then what's stopping me from focusing on anything? Because if I'm not headed anywhere, pretty much any road will take me nowhere. So get your goals down. Get your goals down. And I don't know what stage of life you're in watching this video. If you're just started, you're getting interested in personal development, you're getting interested in fostering more success in your life. My advice to you would to be break down your life into, 3 or 4 categories. One might be health, one might be your personal relationships, one might be financial, and set some goals for those things. Just some what would be amazing in these different areas of my life and what are the first steps that I can take to move myself in that direction. And at least just keep those broad goals in your mind, and that gives you kind of some categories to focus on. Just having a little bit of direction like that will go a long way. Okay? And so the last thing I want to talk about are a few tools for focus. All right? And so one of them is, and it's going to sound kind of weird, but just exercise. Okay? So if you find yourself um, drifting out of focus, jump down, do a few push ups. All right? If you're at your house and you can take a cold shower, that sounds like crazy and not what anybody wants to do, right? But I found that no matter how far I stray off of my discipline for the day, because like I stray off of my discipline too. I think that it's a human thing. No one's perfect. Okay? Like I've really focused on this and I'm actually quite disciplined. I'm quite proud of myself this time. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I go out and do my exercise every day. I do certain disciplined habits every day, but still sometimes that's not quite enough because I find myself, especially if I go on social media or something and someone posts something, and it's interesting to me, and the next thing I know, I'm focusing all of my energy on learning about like some topic that isn't in alignment with my duty for the day. And so I have to be like, okay, well, what am I doing? What am I doing? And then it's kind of hard to bring uh, my mind back to progress at that point. I don't know if you can relate to that in any way, but what I found is if I jump down, I do some push-ups, I do something productive, and the number one thing is a cold shower. Like if I need to jump into progress, I take a cold shower. I take it. I embrace the cold shower. I let the cold water I don't like just jump in like and jump out. No, no. I go in there. I make myself wash with the cold water and everything. And by the end of it, it doesn't feel so bad, believe it or not. But after that, it's like my body's just like disciplined. It will do whatever I say for it to do, and which is nice because it allows me to bring my focus back to whatever's important. I'm not distracted any longer. I don't procrastinate any longer. And so cold showers, that's why you hear about people doing them. It's because it provides a significant benefit to do it. Okay. Now I take a cold shower after my run every morning anyway. Okay. So, just something I recommend. And so that's what I'm going to say. Do that. The Pomodoro, that's something else that you can do. A tool for focus. It's just set a 25-minute alarm, work on whatever you're working on, and then finish it. Now, for me, I tend to focus pretty intensely for about 2 to 3 hour segments. And so I don't typically do the Pomodoro technique, but most of my friends do. I have a lot of friends that are digital nomads. They all work on the internet, build websites. They do different investment things, and so they have a different work style than most. And my mind doesn't work like I think most. And so for me, I'm able to focus for about 3 hour periods, and then I gotta go do something go swimming at a waterfall or something like that. And I guess I'll mention that too is, break up your day. Like, don't force yourself to just be in pain and hate your life all day. Give yourself something to enjoy. Now, that being said, don't let that be a hot fudge sundae during lunch, or you're probably going to break your discipline with that. One, it's going to hurt your health. Two, it's going to help. It's going to hurt your self-image and self-respect. But the thing is, too, is indulging in something like that makes the body just want to take over. Like, makes the urges want to take over more. Wants to take over the mind. All right, so it's always like this mind versus body sort of deal that we have going on. And if we're not able to focus, or if we're procrastinating, or we find ourselves, scroll feeding forever, it's because we've let the body really take charge of our decision making over the mind. Okay, and that's not what we want to do. We want to keep our logic in charge, and the way to do that is to remain disciplined. Now, once you finish your work, sure, turn to whatever you want to do. All right, enjoy your evening. Let your body, be happy. But I recommend maintaining some disciplines all the time, because if you can be disciplined with the food that you're consuming, at least if you can be disciplined with the different habits that you do, journaling every night, if you journal every night, it's going to get those thoughts out of your head, and it's going to help you focus the next day and that night as you go to sleep, and organize your thoughts. And so that's pretty much my thoughts on focus. All right. I think that it's the most important thing that any of us can ever do. It's the most powerful. It's the most powerful tool I think that any of us have, and it's like a currency. I think focus is like a currency that we can use to and trade it for whatever it is that we want out of life. We focus on money, like I said earlier, we tend to get more money. We focus on whatever, we tend to get it. And so stop wasting your focus. Stop giving it away for free just to social media people. I mean, that's why Facebook is so rich, because everybody gives them their focus for free, and because they don't realize how valuable their focus really is, okay? And so if we train ourselves to focus on what's really important to us, we get that benefit. So let's stop giving that benefit to Facebook. Let's stop giving that benefit, to Instagram. And I'm not saying, like, I go on Facebook too. It's good. Like, I think that it's good, but not in the morning time, not when we should be doing something else, okay? Facebook is great for the afternoon, in my opinion. In my opinion. Unless I'm going on there for some work-related stuff in the morning, typically I stay off of Facebook. And so, I mean, I do a lot of business through Facebook Messenger, and so, that's why you're able to talk to me in the mornings, but I don't do any scroll feeding or anything like that in the mornings. I think that it's counterproductive. And so those are my thoughts. If you like this video, if it helped you in any way, hit subscribe. I'd appreciate your support of my channel. If you haven't liked this video yet, hit like, leave me a comment. What did you like? Did I miss anything? Did I make you think deeper on any level? I want to hear it all. I want to hear the criticism, and I want to hear compliments, because who doesn't like compliments? And yeah, and so this has been J.R. Cook. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.